ask this because I've been through in these shooting situations, and we've had the attorneys for the government, the cities, come in and say, you absolutely had no obligation to do what you did. You didn't have to go in. You didn't have to respond. You didn't have to do this, even though it was a life and death situation. And I'm hearing over and over from many officers from across the country. So they kind of leave us in a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation, especially if it's not an active school shooting. So what is the latest of the case law that tells us we are not just compelled to do it because of that righteous act of doing it and intervening, but not leaving us where they turn around and then say, you shouldn't have done it. You weren't obligated to do it.
You said we're not obligated.
Right. We're not obligated to go in and that domestic till after he killed her or she killed him or so forth.
Well, just, yeah, look, it's a great situation. So first of all, just so you know, that's not normally the way courts, I mean, those are not the majority of the cases are not like that, right? The majority of the cases are when the cops should have gone in, oh, I'm sorry, well, I should say that when they put somebody in a worse position or something, but we don't really have a lot of these cases where the cops are getting sued for not doing something.
It's just not who we are.
And we do, yeah, actually, that's really what it is. We are doing something.
Yes.
In fact, actually, that's what I meant. I meant to say, like, we're getting sued for doing something that ends up being like not right.
Right.
But I think about the riots, you know.
Correct, Mr. Brave. Nice job. DeShaney versus Winnebago.
Yeah. So I think about the riots of 2020, you know, and these store owners in Seattle and Chicago, and they're being looted, and the cops are watching, you know, and they're not doing anything. And the reason why they're not doing anything is they're not ready to do anything and so forth. But those store owners were like saying, we're going to sue the police. And according to a case called DeShaney, they're going to have a very tough time because the government did not put them in that position. Well,
what are they talking about? It's like establishing a special relationship.
It's a special relationship, right? It's like, what did the government do to cause these looters, or to like directly, not just, you know, because of bad policies, right? What did they do to cause that looter to go into your? Did they tell them to go there? Did they give them the crowbar? And so just watching it is not. But now the thing is, of course, you know, if I was the chief, I'd be like, if my cops did not do something that clearly they should have, yeah, DeShaney would protect us from a lawsuit, but those cops' asses be on the right.
Well, that's not what we sign up for. We don't swear under oath to protect. To you know,
to watch.
It's the A types that we're out there to help people.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I understand, and oftentimes we go into these situations where you're armchair quarterback later on, and it takes 6 months
all the time.
6 months to understand what actually happened, what you saw and heard. But you're obviously relying on what's in front of you, and you go in and do what you need to do. But like when we see all these cases coming up with the rioting later on, most of those officers are now put in this same position where they're saying you shouldn't have done that or you should have done this.
Yeah.
And of course, the Supreme Court is covering us up to the point of now some of these prosecutors wanting to file charges on most law enforcement in some of these blue cities.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it's what we knew at the time. You know, there's always that reflection of not that 2020 hindsight. You know, what factors did you know at the time?